Are you prone to self-sabotage in your career? Are you constantly second guessing yourself, doubting yourself, putting yourself down, letting other people convince you that you are not worthy of a high paid, high impact role? If so, I want to talk to you about some strategies to interrupt the self-sabotaging that you're doing in your career development, and really how to be more intentional with how you speak to yourself, how you speak about yourself, and who you surround yourself with so that you can avoid letting self-sabotage derail your career. I'm Ashley. I'm the lead mentor with Mentor Me. And one of the things that I'm increasingly concerned about is how I see high achieving professional women self-sabotaging in their career. And here's some of the ways that I see it come up. Number one is that often women will shy away from or turn away from internal promotions. Maybe you, know you can do more, know you have more skills, knowledge, talent, and expertise to advance in your organization. But you shy away from or turn away from any opportunities for advancement in the organization. Maybe you've been told by senior level leaders that you don't have what it takes, or they're unsure about your competencies, or you need more skills or more knowledge to move up in the organization. And instead of, going after the roles that you really want, you've let that perspective or that insight derail you. Or what I often see is that, women worry about someone being mad at them because they've gone after a higher level role. My current boss would be so mad if I moved to a different position, or, my current team would be so hurt if I left them and moved to another department. And so you're allowing the perspective or the insight or how someone else feels about your decisions to impact how you move in your career. And let me be clear, I'm a person who truly believes that it's important to be self-aware enough to see how other people perceive you. It's important to be aware what other people think about you and what they think about how you perform and the value that you bring into the organization. You should not ignore everyone's perspective of you. However, you should also not be allowing other people's perspective of you to completely guide your decision making, right? Like, you want to make sure that your decisions aren't solely based on how other people might perceive those decisions. So, for example, you want to go up for a higher level role, you want to seek out a higher level position. It would be self-sabotage to say, oh, well, I don't want to do that because my current boss would be mad. It's okay that they are mad. It's okay that they would be mad. Well, maybe that's not okay. Actually, that sounds like very controlling and manipulative, and why would they not want to see you shine and grow? Honestly, that is kind of messed up. But it's okay. It's awareness. It's very self-aware of you to know that they might feel a way about that, right? It's very self-aware of you to know how you're perceived in the organization and to know that your supervisor or current leader might be mad if you leave the organization. But the proper response is, oh, I hope they have someone to help them work through their anger or their frustration about my decision. Not, oh my God, I can't leave my current role because my current boss would be mad, right? It's okay for you to recognize that they might feel a way. It's okay for you to recognize that they might be upset, but it's not okay for you to stay stuck in that role based on their reaction, right? And let me be clear that, unfortunately, retaliation in organizations is still a real thing. So I'm not saying that retaliation doesn't happen. And while it's illegal and immoral for a current supervisor to retaliate against you for wanting to seek out a higher level role, it does still happen in some organizations. But to let the possibility of that happening impede you on advancing in your career is something that I'm severely concerned about in high achieving professional women. So one of the things I want to invite you into, if you find yourself often vulnerable to self-sabotage as it relates to moving up in your career, advancing your career, seeking out higher level roles, then I definitely want you to interrogate where that fear and where that shame and where that desire to shrink down or make everyone happy comes from, right? Like where does that feeling that, like, if if everyone doesn't agree with my decision, then it's the wrong decision. Like, where does that come from, right? And how do we put that in check and in perspective with actually going after the things that we want in our career development, right? So if you find yourself constantly second guessing yourself, constantly questioning if you should do things in your career development because of how other people at work might feel about it, I want you to interrogate that feeling. And I want us to do some work on what it means to honor that other people might feel a way. They might be angry, they might be frustrated, they might be sad, they might be disappointed at the decision you make, but that it's their responsibility to deal with those feelings. It's not your responsibility not to make moves in your career based on how someone might feel about it, right? So that's number one, right? The number one strategy to interrupt self-sabotage is to be aware of how other people might feel about the decisions you make, but not be impeded by them, right? We want to focus on awareness, not stopping us from making shifts in our career. The second thing that we should talk about when it comes to this idea of interrupting self-sabotage is that oftentimes women talk themselves out of getting help in their career, and that is a point of self-sabotage. Let me give you an example. So often before working with me, women will say to me, Ashley, I've been job searching for 3 months, 6 months. I've been job searching all year, and I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't know where to go next. I don't know how to find and secure a new job. I feel stuck, right, in where I am in my career. And that's always concerning to me, right? Like, my job as a mentor is to help you make more money and have more impact in your career and understand how to use the skills, knowledge, talent, expertise, degrees, credentials, certifications that you already have to advance your career. But oftentimes women feel like, they've done everything they can on their own and there's no other options for them when it comes to their career development. And the thing that I'm inviting them to recognize is that it's self-sabotage to keep trying to do something on your own and expecting a different result. It's absolutely self-sabotage to keep trying to put your resume out there, to keep trying to network, to keep, trying to look for opportunities and spending, hours on LinkedIn scrolling for jobs. The better strategy is to get some help in your career development. So you can actually have a strategy for job searching. So you can actually have a strategy for looking for new opportunities. So you can stop trying to do the same thing over and over again and not getting, real results, and actually get in front of employers, have them see your expertise and review multiple offers, right? And so often what happens is that, mentees self-sabotage by continuing to try to build a career development strategy or to do career development on their own, right? And so instead, I want to invite you to interrupt self-sabotage. You don't have to do this on your own. I feel like it's the same way, that, Thanksgiving dinner is evolving, right? Nowadays, more and more people are like, we're going to cater Thanksgiving dinner. Like, I'm not trying to cook all this food from Tuesday to Thursday, right? Like, I'm not, wanting to do all this cleanup. We're going to go out to eat. We're going to cater. We're going to do a potluck and everyone's going to bring something so that everyone doesn't have to, go to Meemaw's house and wear Meemaw out and she up for 48 hours trying to make Thanksgiving dinner. And then she's self-sabotaging by being angry about it and saying she had to do it all by herself and she didn't ask for help, right? The best thing to do is to ask for help, right? To say, raise your hand and say, hey, I need some support here. I need some help here. I don't have expertise in this area. Let me hire an expert, right? And so often what happens is instead of hiring an expert, we kind of try to do it on our own, and we want the badge of honor for doing it on our own. But my question to you is, do you want the badge of honor or do you want to win? Do you want to struggle and keep having the same result of not getting in front of employers and not getting the job offer and, not advancing your salary and advancing your career? Or do you want to see the salary increase, see the job offers, select a new job and advance your career? Like, what really is the goal here? Is the goal to say I did it by myself, or is the goal to win? Is the goal to complete it, or is the goal to say you do it by yourself? Because you can keep trying to do it by yourself and never winning, never succeeding, or you can just hire some help and move forward in your career development, right? And so I worry that so often we are more focused on doing it by ourselves than we are on getting it done. right? It's like the DIYer who just won't hire the contractor to help them finish the job. It's like, yes, of course, you could do it by yourself. And we're so proud of that. We're so thrilled to know that you could do it by yourself. But wouldn't it be more advantageous? Wouldn't it be more strategic? Wouldn't it make more sense? Wouldn't it be more helpful if you hired some help, if you got some support, if you didn't try to do it on your own, right? Like, wouldn't that be a better strategy, more insightful, more meaningful, right? And so definitely just want to encourage you to avoid the self-sabotaging and to hire some help. So far we've gone through two strategies. Strategy number one is that so often women self-sabotage by not going after higher level roles, trying to protect the feelings of other people, trying to protect the feelings of their current boss, trying to protect the feelings of their team, trying to protect the feelings of maybe their partner, right? Who is worried about them taking on more work, right? It's okay to be self-aware enough to know that your career decisions affect other people. However, you want to avoid making every career decision based on the feelings and emotions of other people, right? You want to center yourself and your values in your career decisions, and every decision you make in your career should not be based on the thoughts and perspectives of other people, right? That's strategy number one. We want to interrupt self-sabotage by checking in with ourselves, our own values, and making decisions based on that, not the thoughts and opinions of other people. Number two, another way that women self-sabotage is trying to do everything on their own. Oh, I can do it. I've got it. I'll put myself out there. I'll go to every networking event. I'll spray my resume across every site, and I'll apply for 100 jobs on LinkedIn. Not only does it not work, but you're wearing yourself out and you're self-sabotaging. Instead of self-sabotaging by trying to do everything in your career development on your own, interrupt self-sabotaging by hiring some help, right? Get the support you need from a career coach to help build a strategy in your career development that's going to yield results and get you support in a more intentional and immediate way, so you can actually get in front of employers, review multiple offers, and select the right role for you as you advance your career. And the third and final way that I often see women self-sabotage is believing that they have to have an overwhelming amount of career confidence to advance their career. So often, women come to me and they say, Ashley, I just need your help to feel more confident in my career. I just need your help in being more confident, right? And I get it, right? Like, people prefer to feel really confident that they can do something before they start, right? Ideally, before you bake your first cake, you'd like to feel like, I know what I'm doing. Before you run your first 10K, you're like, I know that I can do this. You maybe want to feel like before you have a child, you want to know that you're going to be a good parent. But the truth is that you rarely know you can do something before you can do it. And honestly, people who are overly confident that they can do something aren't always accurate, right? Like, it's not always true that they're good as they think they are. And so I invite you to stop putting the confident cart before the actual workhorse, right? Stop putting the confident cart before the workhorse, meaning that the work comes first, the confidence comes later, right? And instead of focusing on, I need to feel more confident, I invite you to focus on doing the work required to position yourself as a top candidate in your job search, right? And you might be asking, okay, Ashley, I believe in that. That makes sense to me, but what's the work? What work should I be doing? The first help is to make sure that you're not leaning into interrupting self-sabotage strategy number two, which is trying to do it on your own, right? My job as a mentor is to help you build out a career development plan that we will follow together, that I'll walk alongside you with, so that you can actually have a strategy for your advancing your career and doing the right work that's going to yield results. Because so often what happens is that women are like, yeah, I'm doing the work. I'm putting myself out there. I'm networking. I'm applying for jobs. I'm having hard conversations with my boss. But those hard conversations and that putting yourself out there isn't really yielding real results in your career development. And so instead of doing that, what I invite you to do is to actually have a roadmap for your career development, so you can be making strategic moves as you elevate your career, and you're not just kind of going all over the place and wasting time and veering off and not actually yielding any results, right? It is self-sabotage to be out here meandering with your career development, doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that, trying a little bit of this, trying a little bit of that, right? Certainly if you're in an exploratory phase in your career, that's available to you, right? But if you are if you are being intentional about making more money, having more impact, doing more meaningful work, supervising and leading people, advancing an industry, then you need to have a strategic plan for your career development. And my job as a mentor is help you build that and then take action on it in your career. So if that sounds like what you're looking for, if you are looking for more insight on your career development, if you want to stop self-sabotaging and actually get some support in your career development, then I invite you into mentorship. I'm Ashley. I'm the lead mentor with Mentor Me, and I'm so excited to serve you. If you know you need support in your career development, if you really need strategy to move from where you are to where you want to be in your career, or if you're like, I just need to sit down with someone and kind of go through the plan that I have in my head and make sure it's actionable and I can get results from it in my career development, I'm happy to serve you in that capacity as well. I'm so excited to help women who are going to join my cohort and position them to secure higher level salary increases and to have really impactful careers. If that sounds like you, I'm excited to serve you. The first step in working with me is to go to my website at mentor-me.org. That's mentor-me.org. I'm so excited to schedule a call with you to talk to you more about your career development and to understand how I can support you in advancing your career. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.